Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Wow, you're happy tonight. Let's try that again. Good evening, ladies and gents. Good evening. There we are, a little bit better. The three people who joined in the first time are a little bit louder than the second. Still counts. Thank you very much for joining in. My name is Dave Crane. It's my pleasure to be your host and MC for this evening. And it's nice to see so many of our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as well, joining us this evening. And it's the second time of the GEC Awards brought to you by Enterprise Channels, our second year to allow networking before GITEX and honor the products and companies who have made such a big impact over the last 12 years. Sorry, the last 12 months, 12 years as well, but 12 months in this case. Before we start anything, can I just do a few housekeeping rules? First of all, the fire exits I have to point out to everybody. The fire exits are, I believe, lit up. You can see just at the back there. If there are any issues, look for the little green triangle, and it should be there and there. I should work on a plane, actually, doing all that stuff, shouldn't I? If you can't see them, then look for me screaming and running out the door and follow me. That's the easiest way to make your way out. Okay, and also we have our business card draw later on this evening, where we'll be giving out to our lucky winners a couple of Samsung tablets. So make sure the lovely ladies are going around with the goldfish balls that have the business cards in. Make sure your business card is in. And I won't mention which table it was, but don't put in 10 of your business cards so you have a better chance of winning. We will still know it's you. Okay? Wonderful. Thank you very, very much indeed. We've got a lot of things to get through this evening and a lot of very good reasons to spend this quality time amongst you and share with you some great ideas and some great thoughts before we move ahead for GITEX and the whole world is watching every single thing we do. On behalf of Accent Infomedia, I'd just basically like to invite you and to enjoy the evening and also take the opportunity to network with as many people as possible. Even if you already know people in the industry, you never know how many people have changed and how many new things are on the market, and you can get ahead of the competition just by those conversations. I've literally just flown in from Berlin, where I was hosting an internal auditors global event, all for the airline industry. Fascinating that was as well. A lot of it overlaps as well, which is kind of interesting. Might share some ideas with you, but meanwhile, let's talk about tonight's event. Oh, that's nice and bright. Accent Infomedia is an emerging and fast-growing tech media house with its headquarters in Dubai and a growing reach spanning the entire Middle East and Africa. The objective of this company is to become the global market leader in technology publications and events for the growth of enterprise technologies across the verticals and geographies. We try to connect channel partners and CXOs and provide them with the right perspective about their investments on technology. We address the emerging challenges and opportunities emanating from the implementation of cloud computing, virtualization, security, surveillance, communications, mobility, BYOD, IoT, which you know what all those mean, and so on and so forth. From the market's perspective, the Media House caters to the entire partner ecosystem, including resellers, SIs, service providers, ISVs, network integrators, and the CXOs in the vertical industries, including hospitality, healthcare, retail, education, media, oil and gas, government, PSUs, and BFSI. Accent Infomedia also understands the importance of sport and CSR activities for the healthy growth of the industry, and that's why we're committed to corporate golf and charity activities. Today, you may have actually been on it. We have kickstarted the second edition of our GEC Open Premium Charity Golf Tournament at the Al Badia Golf Course at the Intercontinental near Festival City. And that will be taken to 6 other countries, including Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi, India, and Turkey. These events are held in collaboration with Dubai Autism Center, UAE Red Crescent, and KISS, which stands for Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. The tournament, in which many of you have already extended your support, reflected compassion and corporate social responsibility, and a great opportunity as well to network. However, our vision is to create a large ecosystem and take the Gulf connectivity to the global arena, connecting multiple geographies, including Europe and the United States. Enterprise Channel MEA is very proud to present the second edition of the Global Enterprise Connect Awards. These are the benchmark for outstanding performance throughout the Middle East and Africa. After 2 years of operations in this region, Enterprise Channels MEA has seen a lot of excellence in the ICT sector in the Middle East and Africa region. These awards focus on the contribution of vendors, VADs, resellers, SIs, projects, and technologies that have helped the development of this market. And now to share some more of his view and also introduce, on behalf of the company, I'd like to invite up Mr. Sanjay Mohapatra, the editor of Enterprise Channels MEA. Mr. Sanjay.
Thank you, Dave, for a nice bit of introduction about our company. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Enterprise Channels Awards. This is the second time in a row that we are organizing this event. My being here, my standing here is nothing but to connect with people, creating human values. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are dreaming, it's not around the technology that's changing the market, but creating humans, friends in the industry, outside the industry also, making it easier for doing business. I know this time is age of disruptive technologies and times, and you cannot win the customers with these technologies. Another technology comes, or a technology provider comes and wins the customer. Even today, the customers do not know about what is the requirement. Every quarter, every month, the requirement changes. We need solid background, or we need solid relationship with friends to the customers to make them understand. As far as our company is concerned, Accent Infomedia, the very beginning of the company starts from India, I'll say 6 years back, but only 3 years back that we came to this region. Our focus is entirely on the enterprise side of the business, because we understand that there are two parts to this industry. One is consumer driven and another is enterprise. And within the enterprise, everything going, changing every day, every week or every month. So in order to make that happen, in order to do the good business, we need actually real friends in the industry. So the first thing that we are bringing out is the magazine. Second one is the website that's promoting all the activities of the vendors and the partners and the customers as well. Second and third thing, as Dave was mentioning, that we are into CSR activities and sports. Reason being, we are into sports, it might be very surprising that why a tech company or media company coming into sports. The basic thing that we are standing at is to bring in more people in an informal way and make them understand, create an environment of trust. If you do not have trust, whatever technology, whatever might be the cutting edge of technology, it's very difficult to win. And today, this is our second year in a row as far as this awards is concerned. And awards is nothing but to bring in people and get everybody sitting under one roof and talking to each other. This kind of pretext, the award is a pretext to bring everybody. And we are happy that everybody is here. All our friends are here. Even though today is holiday, you made it. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of our team, those people who have put in, those who are standing at the back, Somya and Ronak, Anusri, Tushar, everybody standing at the back, they are not showing up at the front. They told me that you go and do the talking at the front. So thank you guys for putting up so much beautiful show today. And I'll say a few words about the awards that for last 3 months we have been taking the nomination. All the awards have been decided on behalf of the nominations, and compared to the last year, this year we have doubled exactly. Last year we had 21 awards. This time it is 40 almost like 43, 44 hours. Reason being, we saw that lots of technologies, changes happening in the industry, and products are going into solution space or services space. So we have added on solutions and services. This time products, you will say that 20% of products that we are giving out, rest of the 80% of hours are going into solutions and services. Mostly we have added on, going with the trend of the industry, we have added on SDDC kind of things, software-defined data center, software-defined storage stuff that is being evaluated these days, or on demand these days. So that is what is about our company, and thank you very much for coming in, and welcome everybody, and have a nice evening, have a nice interaction with each other, and be fruitful as far as your business and commitments are concerned. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay Mohapatra. I'd also like to invite up now Ms. Zara Khan, who's the Business and Communications Unit Head of Dubai Autism Center, to share a few words about her organization.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a fantastic time. My name is Zara. I'm here on behalf of Dubai Autism Center. I work there. Firstly, foremost, I would like to sincerely thank Enterprise Channels MEA for joining hands with our center and in supporting and spreading awareness about autism to the community through their annual GEC Golf Tournament 2015. We would like to thank all the sponsors of the event and also all those who participated in the golf tournament. Hope you had a great time, and which really helped us in raising funds for the center. Dubai Autism Center is a non-profit organization set up by His Highness, and it's providing information, support, advice, and training to professionals and parents of children with autism. Currently today, we have around 54 children with autism, and they're provided with a holistic intervention program that includes academics and various therapies, such as behavior, speech, occupation, music, as well as professional medical care. Now, please do keep in mind, we have over 300 children on our waiting list, and we're really looking to expand, and all that you've done and all that you've raised and participated in is really going towards that growth and providing services for all those children on our waiting list, hopefully. In order to reach our goals, we're dependent on donations and grants from corporates and individuals such as yourself, and we're really there to help serve the community. It's with your generosity and cooperation that will help us to achieve a more inclusive and independent future for our children. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you once again, Ms. Sarah Khan. Of course, CSR is so important for every organization, not least because of the good that you do, but the focus it brings to you and your staff and your clients and also your directors on why you're doing it, not just for business, but also to make the world a better place. So thank you very much for that. I'd also now like to invite up Ms. Basaki Mohanty, who's the Director of International Communication for the KISS, which is, of course, Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, to share a few words about her organization and her mission.
Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to be here this evening. And I'm speaking on behalf of KISS, that is Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, wherein we educate 25,000 tribal children from different communities of the neglected areas in my state called Orissa, back in India. This organization was founded by Dr. Achyuta Samant way back in 1993 with just 125 students. So today, we are here with 25,000 children. We give them education, fooding, shelter, all free of cost. And this is the world's largest free residential tribal school. So Thank you so much, Tushar and the GEC team, all of you, to support us and give us a platform where we get to know so many like-minded individuals who are supporting this cause, who have come forward to support the cause. And I would wholeheartedly request all of you to kindly be with us, because what I believe is giving education to a deprived child is like giving eyesight to a blind. And education is just the only thing which is the main support, the backbone of every economy of a country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. And I believe that there's a special gift for everybody at the end of tonight's festivities and awards. So make sure you collect it on the way out. It's a design, an individual picture from one of the children mentioned, and individually printed for every single person here. So please make sure that you collect on the way out. And now is an opportunity for me to share some more ideas with you as we change the screen. For many of you, you might have heard of me before. I don't know how many people have heard of me, Dave Crane, before. Hands in the air if you have. Let's try that again. 3 people. How many people have never heard of me before? Okay. How many people don't care if you never see me again for the rest of your life? Fantastic. At least we start on the same page. As I mentioned, my name is Dave Crane. I'm a motivational speaker and hypnotist. I've been in Dubai now for about 20 years, which should mean that I could last a little bit longer, but we'll see at the end of this evening whether that's true or not. I want to share with you 5 things, 5 rules of success that I've shared with many of the major companies all around the world. Now, as I mentioned, I am actually a hypnotist as well. And as I say that, people say, don't look at him, he's going to make you do crazy things. The truth is, I don't have to look at you to do that. I'm probably doing it already. I'm not really. I want to test one thing first of all. Now, whenever we do an awards event or an event that involves audience participation, what tends to happen is everyone's really conservative. And they tend to clap when they win. They tend not to join in when somebody else does. I want to change all that tonight. This is about the industry. It's also about our charities, our CSRs, and the intention that you have for the success that you have between now and GITEX. So to do this, what I want to do is change your mindset about a couple of different things. Let's have a little tester. Everybody's standing up. Let's get everyone standing up now. Oh, there's a big tut from over there. I didn't want to have to stand up. You never said we'd do any exercise. All right, everyone put your right hand in the air like this. I did this yesterday. I was in Berlin. Only did it very quickly. Right, okay. So put your right hand in the air like that. I want you to turn your right hand into a gun. You see this? A gun. Okay. Turn the gun into a circle. See that circle? Okay. Put the circle here. Everybody, circle here. I want you to look at the circle, look at my face. Look at your circle, look at my face. Circle, face, and now put it on your chin. Okay? How many people have got a chin on the side of their head, and how many people have got a chin down here? Exactly. Give yourselves a round of applause and sit down. Now, that wasn't sleight of hand. It wasn't misdirection. It was very simple. It was a way of inviting you to understand that things happen sometimes that you don't know about, and share with you a couple of ways you can do things differently. As I mentioned, I'm going to share with you the 5 rules of success. I'll just turn the music down on this. Okay, what I want to do with this is give you a couple of different things that as a hypnotist, life coach, business coach, I help to do to help people change the way they think about things. Before we do that, it's really about, today is about mindset. It's part of a much longer presentation. In fact, we're going to do only the 5 of the 10 normal rules. To talk about mindset is very important because the most important thing for yourself and any element in business is to keep moving. Industries change so much. Yesterday, when I was in Berlin, it was hosting an event for all the internal auditors to all the main airlines around the world. And one thing that they all agreed is the next stage frightens everybody. And it overlaps with everything as well. The next part of the industry is automation. Would you like to get on a plane that's got an automatic pilot on it and nobody else? But you're happy going on a metro system that works perfectly well in Dubai where there is no driver. So what happens when you're on a plane? Would you be happy with it or not? It all comes down to IT, the access to big data, security, and so on. So with every business, it's important to audit and reinvent yourself on a regular basis. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to prove exactly how important it is to think differently about yourself and not prejudge situations that you may have experienced before. Behind me, you can see 4 red lines. If I read through them with you, it says finished files are the result of years of scientific study combined with experience of many years. You can read that as well. What I'd like to do is, with a show of hands, put your hand in the air. In fact, first read it and count how many F's you have. How many F's are there on those 4 lines? Do it quietly to yourself. Don't shout it out, because then other people get to join in. Okay, you've done that now? I'll move slightly to this side, even though it's over there as well. But I'm in the way of these guys as well. So if I stand over there in that corner, that's probably easier. Okay, everyone's read it through. So on a show of hands, how many people see 1 F? How many people see 2? How many see 3? A large part of the room, maybe half. How many see 4? How many see 5? How many see 6? Look at that. How many see 7? Because you'd be lying if you said 7, but it's not 7. All right, there are in fact 6. Now, this is where I make my Scooby-Doo noise. If you remember that TV show from the 70s, it was actually made in the 60s. And Scooby-Doo would go, when I say there's 6. How can there be 6? Well, very simple. Have a look again and tell me how you spell the word of. Look. There's an of here, an of here, and an of there. So why didn't you see it? Some people did, some people didn't. It's not an intelligence test, trust me. I got 3 first time round. I just enjoy the revenge of sharing it with other people as well. The reason you don't see it is because when you read it through, you read it as of, an OV sounding word. You stored it as an OV sounding word. And therefore, when it goes back to do something as simple as counting, it gets omitted. Now, I say it because the industries are changing so rapidly that in the industry known as taxi drivers, Uber has knocked everything on its head. Every industry will go through a change in some future, maybe in the near future. So it's important to always have your eyes open and sometimes look for different examples of things that could change. Here's another one, a very simple question to everybody in the room. I tested this before with our auditors yesterday, and they got it wrong. I tested it with a group of teachers, won't say which school, but they charge a lot of money, and they didn't get it either. So I'm going to share it with our heads of the IT industry. Do you believe in order to make success in your business and your career, you should concentrate on your strengths and only your strengths? If so, put your hand in the air. 1 person, 2, 3, only little hands count. 4 people, 5, 6 and a half over there. 6.5 people. Okay, who believes in order to make success in your industry and in your career, you should concentrate on your weaknesses and make your weaknesses better? Hands in the air. A few more. A couple of half arms going up, maybe little patches missing on the jackets, I'm not sure. Okay, a few more. Who believes in order to make success in your business and your career, you must do a combination of strengths and weaknesses? Is that everybody else's hands going up? Okay. And who doesn't want to put their hand up anyway? Well, you're obviously not going to put your hand up now, so it doesn't matter. Well, I believe, very simply, to make success in your industry and in your career, you should concentrate on your strengths and only your strengths. I'm going to prove to you exactly why. Think about it. When you're good at something, you become the leader in doing it. You get recognized as being the leader, and as you do so, more and more people will pay good money for you to be able to do what it is that you do. That makes you feel better. You become more encouraged. You do more of it. You put more into research and development of that thing, and you become even better as the leader and the expert of that thing. And it provides an amazing feedback loop that takes you bigger and better to be seen as the very best in what you do. When you concentrate on your weaknesses, what happens? When you work really, 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 really hard on something you're not very good at the very, very best, you'll become average. and usually unhappy. And that's why as bosses, what we tend to do is we turn around and say, right, let's do our appraisal. We'll spend 5 minutes on your achievements, and we'll spend the next 55 minutes on your opportunities to improve. And everyone goes, oh, and they hate that bit. So, do you ignore your weaknesses? No, you address them by finding out what they are, but then you partner with people for whom those are strengths. And you don't waste any more time on building up your weaknesses. That's how all the big guys, and you guys are included in industry, get that career, get that success, by being bigger and better at what you do really well. Does that make sense? So I want to share with you 5 things, 5 ways that you can improve and change your mindset, and also share it with your staff in terms of business. With these, it can be applied to anything, whether it's mind coaching, or whether it's working with your team, with your family, or so on. The same questions fit everybody at some point, and I use them to navigate through my entire life. So first of all, in your 5 rules of success, we're going to introduce you to this. This is your mind. I know your head is not shaped like this, but trust me, the way your mind works is very much like an iceberg, the one that hit the Titanic. Right here, at the top, your conscious mind. At the top, your willpower, short-term memory, your critical decision-making and abilities are all above the surface. Below, your beliefs, habits, in your subconscious mind, you can read what's all there. These are the things you can't normally affect. These are the things that other people affect on a daily basis, and sometimes you wonder, why am I having a bad day? It started off so well. Or sometimes you do things, and you say, why do I keep doing it? I know I don't want to, but I keep making those same errors. I'll explain more on that later on. Then you've also got this part here, your unconscious mind, which is to do with beauty sleep. That part of your mind that keeps you all the way through the day, your heart beating, the temperature of your skin, the eyelashes when you have to blink, and the fluid in your eyes, and all the rest of it, your hair growth. It looks after that so you don't have to. And the last part here is your superconscious mind. Has anybody ever read The Secrets, the book The Secrets? A couple of years ago, it was very popular about the law of attraction and the way that you can make things more positive by thinking positive. Well, this is the same formula used for those who pray on a regular basis or like to connect with people, connect with things. For me, my mind's slightly out on this. I believe that we're not necessarily linked to people. I think there's a thing in your mind called a reticular activatory system. Now, that sounds like a big mouthful, and it's worth quite a lot of Scrabble. What it is when you visualize things, you can see more of it. That's how you create vision boards and so on. Let me explain how that works. Has anybody ever bought a new car? And suddenly, when you buy that car, you start seeing more of them on the road. True? Or you bought new shoes or a new dress. Addressing the girls, by the way, so I don't judge. But whenever you buy something new, or you're interested in something new, your mind will go, okay, let's find more examples of that. It doesn't judge what's good or what's bad. It just says, the boss is interested, let's find more. So if you're a very negative person, guess what you're going to get more of? Negative stuff, if you focus on that. So instead, having an open mind and re-evaluating, reinventing the way you relate to things is what I would suggest we do. And we're going to share 5 rules for being able to do that. This is your very first. Rule number 1, your time is irreplaceable. You never, ever, ever get time back. In this room, we've got some of the most distinguished people in the IT industry who will be swamped with orders and business throughout GITEX and beyond. Now, one thing I can say is there's different levels of finance and wealth in the room and intelligence, but there's one factor that is the same, and that is we all have the same currency of time. Now, time is precious, and everyone says that, time management and so on, but think about it. Every single second you never get back. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how famous you are, how connected you are, it disappears completely. So therefore, you want to make sure you use every second of every day the right way. I want to make sure when I've got 1 hour left on this planet, and I'm lying in my deathbed, in a beautiful hospital or wherever it might be, I'm surrounded by my wife, my kids, my grandkids, kids I didn't know about who suddenly came up and started wanting Christmas presents. I don't know. But I want to make sure that I didn't waste a second of every day, of any day. And the same for you. So always, always think about time in terms of it being a currency. And if you were given that currency, how would you spend yours?
It credits your account each morning with $86,400. It carries over no balance from day to day. And every evening, it deletes whatever part of the balance you failed to use during that day. What would you do? Draw out every cent. Each one of us has such a bank. It's called time. Every morning it credits you with 86,400 seconds. And every night it writes off as lost whatever you have failed to invest wisely. It carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day it opens a new account for you. And if you fail to use the day's deposit, the loss is yours. There is no going back. There is no drawing against the tomorrow. You must live in the present on today's deposit, invested in every opportunity. The clock is running. You've got to make the most of today, right here, right now. Value of 1 year. Ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask a person who just missed a train. To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who narrowly avoided an accident. To realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who took the silver medal in the Olympics. Time waits for no one. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
So there you go. Valuing your own time and valuing everybody else's time is very important. We go on to our second of our rules this evening. I'm only going to do 5 of the full 10. Your life, number 2, is your fault. Your life is, you're to blame for everything in your life right now. And when I say that, people go, that's not fair. Why would you say that? That's a horrible thing to say. Let's change it then. Let's say your life is your choice. Does that feel better? So everything in your life is your choice. That sounds better, but the only catch is that if you let somebody else do stuff and you do what everyone else tells you, then that is also your choice as well. So therefore, with every choice that you make, realize that it is down to you. You can't blame anybody else. Don't blame yourself for the economy, for the climate, the things that go on like that. One of the things, I've lived in Dubai for 20 years. Dubai makes its own rules. UAE makes its own rules. It's not bothered what other people do. There is no recession. But there is not in Dubai. No. We do things differently. And I've experienced such changes as a direct result of just that mindset of taking control of everything around you and making those very difficult, but actually quite simple choices. Your life is the way that you want it to be. Now, it's always easy to make excuses. Some people say, yeah, but I've got credit card debts, or maybe I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too tall, I'm too small. There's always an excuse. But at the end of the day, like you'll see, it doesn't really matter. I'll stop it there. Give a massive round of applause, please, ladies and gents. Getting my points. Throughout the next, well, everyone's got excuses for what they're doing and not doing, but there you go. From now on, just look for solutions to every single thing. And before you look at it, you put your mind into it, and that part of your mind that finds anything you're interested in will pop up all the stuff that you need to move on. Moving on now to the next of our rules, and it's this one. Rule number 3, you never fail. Quick show of hands, how many people in this room have ever failed before to do something? Failed to pass a driving test, failed to hit targets, failed in many marriages, or anything like that. Be honest, how many people have failed at something? Come on, all friends together, we're not judging. Okay, how many people have never failed, ever? Put your hands in the air, ever. 1 person? 2 people? Anybody else? Interesting. Can I ask for the gentleman there with the red tie who put his hand up? Can I just get your attention, sir? Can I ask you a question? Why is it you say you've never failed? Good answer. Life is wonderful. Can you, round of applause, round of applause. Can I just ask you your name and which organization you belong to? Fantastic. Connect with that company. This guy knows stuff. I guarantee that. A round of applause once again. And same for the gentleman at the back as well. All right, so there was a question. How many people have ever failed before? He says life is wonderful. That's one way of looking at it, but I'm going to add on top of that and go a little step further. Failure is a term that cripples the corporate industry. If you're an entrepreneur, and many of you started off at least like that, then failure has a completely different attitude. If you come across 100 people and 99 say no, but 1 says yes, you will move on that because there's a yes. In the corporate industry, what tends to happen is 99 yeses and 1 no means let's just reevaluate. Maybe we're missing something. So it doesn't happen. Failure makes you feel like a loser. It makes you feel that everything is going to go wrong, and the fear of failure is what makes many companies freeze and the competition go past them. So instead of the term failure, think of it as a different way. Whether it's hitting your targets or your driving tests or anything, what happens is actually you have an event. And that event, you do a certain amount of work towards getting a result. And then the thing happens, you get your result, and it might not have been what you wanted, but you didn't fail, you just didn't get the result you wanted. Now, what you should do then is get some feedback. What went wrong? What did we have to do to change it? But most people don't. They just go, okay, I just feel really bad. If you ask, what do I do to improve it? Then you can work on that, reinvent yourself, go back again, and get it to work. You don't fail, you just get results. Jack Canfield was interviewed on my web TV show. Jack Canfield, a writer of Chicken Soup for the Soul and many other wonderful books as well. And he says everybody in business should ask 2 questions of their clients. First thing, give me a score out of 10 for how well I did. And the second thing is, how could I make it better? What would have made it 10? If you ask that of everybody, you get closer to excellence. But at the same time, if something doesn't work, let it go. Move on. Do something else. Next. There's always a better client waiting for you. So with that in mind, the term failure has no use. So I'll ask you that question again. How many people have ever failed in their lives? Really? You still think so? Maybe you just got an outcome that you didn't want, rather than actually failing? Would you agree with that? How many people have never failed now, but you know it feels different? Yeah? How many people have got really, really heavy arms when I ask them to join in with stuff? How many people are never going to fail in the future then as a direct result of feeling differently? And it feels different too. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause, because now you'll make those moves. Let's look at some very famous failures from the past.
With a note that read, wasting her time. She's too shy to put her best foot forward. Turned down by the Decca Recording Company, who said, we don't like their sound, and guitar music is on the way out. failed soldier, farmer, and real estate agent. At 38 years old, he went to work for his father as a handyman. Cut from the high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. His fiancée died, he failed in business twice, he had a nervous breakdown, and he was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never lived.
Embrace the opportunities. Not everything is going to go the way you want it to, but it's a learning curve, and enjoy that. Makes a big difference as well. So as we move on to our 4th rule, one more to go after this, and it's this: you never make mistakes. How many people have ever made a mistake? Hands in the air. When I've got really smart people like this, their hands don't often go up when it gets mistakes, because they all go, "You're going to tell us something, so I'm not going to put my hand up." Okay, how many people have never made mistakes? Wow. And how many people have no idea what language I'm speaking, and you're just staring at me saying, "I'm sure it's Bob Marley, he's going to sing in a minute, he's going to do something else, he can't be talking." All right. I'll put it to you, you've never made a mistake in your life. And I'll tell you why. Because at the time of doing anything, you always make the right decision at that time. We don't have hindsight. We can't go back with a time machine and change the way we do it. At that time, you made the right decision, and you made it because of 3, maybe even more, different reasons. First of all, who knows you better than you? Apart from obviously the wife and the mother, and so you, true? Also, who's going to be at the scene of a crime for every single decision you make all the way through your life? So it's quite important you get them right. That pressure is on you. And also, who's going to benefit from those decisions and all the time recalculate how you do it? It's got to be down to you again. So you are the right person. You are the best person to make those decisions. You probably got it just right. That voice in your head has got it just right. Now, I've got a different way of doing things when it comes to the idea of making mistakes. Most people do the idea of ready, aim, fire. Now, if you're an expat and you're not a Dubai resident, when you go back to your home country, like I come from the UK, when I go back and see my friends, I'm sitting in a restaurant or a bar or wherever it is, I'll say to them, "How's it going with your job?" "Oh, I'm not that keen." "Really?" "Yeah, I'm going to leave. I've had enough." Okay. A year later, I go back. "How's it going with that job?" "I hate it. I'm going to leave." "You said that last year." "Yeah, I'm still working on it." Most people aim and never fire. So when you make your decisions, and you'll make big decisions over the next coming weeks, have a different idea in mind. Ready, fire, aim. Bang, wow. Right, I've just shot up there, okay? Now if I calibrate the size of a bullet and the distance it traveled and the impact, I can recalibrate and aim it to here. Bang. That's where I really wanted to hit. Ready, fire, aim. Jump and grow wings on the way down. You're not expected to get it right first time, but do something. Keep the momentum going. All the big stars in industry don't always get it right, but what they do is they keep moving forward. And when it doesn't work out, they go, "Yeah, so what? Next." And move on to the next thing. But if you do make that mistake, then don't do it twice.
La la la, oh la la la. Oh, wie fein, die Wäsche wird bald fertig sein. Jackie.
Like letting a 7-year-old wash your computer, not the smartest things to do. Our final point is this, rule number 5. And this is something I want to share with you in terms of the networking and fun that you have over the coming weeks, especially when you walk around GITEX, making friends, making business deals, seeking new partners, or maybe avoiding old partners you don't want to talk to anymore. The most powerful person in any group, in any room, is the most flexible person. the person who can get on with as many people as possible. Instead of thinking about what's right for you and what you want out of it, find out what they want, work out what they're after, and have those conversations from their point of view. It might seem like you're wasting a lot of time when you should be pulling focus on what you want, but you're actually planting seeds. These people will work with you differently, and you don't even need to pay them for it because they are friends. And how do you make friends? You simply find out what it is that makes them tick. Your experiences are your experiences. They're not the same as anybody else. The people you meet are all completely different. If you've got brothers and sisters, same thing. They might even look like you. They might be twins, but your choices of partner, food, everything are slightly different. It's the same for everybody else. So keep an open mind when you're doing business over the coming months. People are different. And once you've done that, and you've actually developed an interest in other people's cultures, other people's things, and other stuff that might be able to help you in the future, this is how we change the world.
I'm part of a lost generation, and I refuse to believe that I can change the world. I realize this may be a shock, but happiness comes from within is a lie. Money will make me happy. So in 30 years, I will tell my children they are not the most important thing in my life. My employer will know that I have my priorities straight because work is more important than family. I tell you this, once upon a time, families stayed together, but this will not be true in my era. This is a quick fix society. Experts tell me 30 years from now, I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. I do not concede that I will live in a country of my own making. In the future, environmental destruction will be the norm. No longer can it be said that my peers and I care about this earth. It will be evident that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It is foolish to presume that there is hope. And this will all be true unless we reverse it. There is hope. It is foolish to presume that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It will be evident that my peers and I care about this earth. No longer can it be said that environmental destruction will be the norm. In the future, I will live in a country of my own making. I do not concede that 30 years from now, I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. Experts tell me this is a quick fix society, but this will not be true in my era. Families stayed together once upon a time. I tell you this, family is more important than work. I have my priorities straight because my employer will know that they are not the most important thing in my life. So in 30 years, I will tell my children money will make me happy is a lie. Happiness comes from within. I realize this may be a shock, but I can change the world, and I refuse to believe I am part of a lost generation.
Amazing. That's why we have our CSR, that's why we have our friends today from Dubai Autism Center and Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. It's important to share and to think differently, and I hope that we've been able to make you think a little differently as a result of that today. So the last lesson is this, very simple, just be brilliant. It might not be everything you expected, but you get one go at doing it. And the more you laugh, the more you enjoy, the less you take everything so seriously, the more fun you will have as you go along. In a few moments, we're going to start our awards, our GEC Awards, our second awards for the industry. And we're going to have our winners, and everyone gets a massive round of applause, and hopefully everybody in this room will collect something. But if there's one thing you take away, then it's just do stuff differently. You are the very best that you can be. And if you get one life, enjoy every part of it, and don't give yourself too hard a time. And now, please, give yourselves a massive round of applause. Thank you very much for your time. It's time now to move on to... So we have our awards. And in order to do this, we have our lovely ladies over there with the awards to present to everybody. And also our recipients in the room right now. Before we invite anybody up to win anything, can I just practice one thing? And that's, it makes it amazing for you when you get up there and you hear a massive round of applause. What tends to happen is people tend to clap for somebody from their table and ignore everybody else. So let's do something slightly differently. Let me just do this. Right, let's do a bit of practice to get the awards going the right proper way. And we'll get it on telly, so if you don't join in, we'll know who it is. Let's split the room up into two halves. If I stand here, And the lady the gentleman at the back there, if you go to this side, perfect. Okay, this is team number 1, this is team number 2. Team number 1, on the count of 3, I want you to clap and make some noise. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Not bad. Excellent. Okay, remember this is team number 2. Stop picking your nose. Thank you. Team number 2. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Excellent. Got some very, very good screamers and cheerers over here, and a couple of people going, nope. Let's do it all together. Let's make a big, happy family today. Team 1 and Team 2, make some noise. Go! There we go. That's all I do. Okay, it's time now to move on. Very excited, as we'd like to invite up on stage to join us as we start the awards, Hassan and Mo from the Pure Storage team. Hassan and Mo. Round of applause, please. And these awards, of course, welcoming and rewarding the people who've made the biggest impact over the last 12 months. Our first award, CSR activities. And that award goes to Store IT Distribution. I'd like to turn around and get your photos taken. Congratulations to Store IT Distribution. Hassan and Mo, if you'd like to remain on the stage. Next up is the award for the top VAD of the year. And that goes to ComGuard. Congratulations. Once again, give it up for ComGuard, top VAD of the year. Our next award is for the Specialist VAD of the year, and that goes to Spectrami! As the team come up from Spectrami. Big smiles. Once again, Specialist VAD of the Year. Give it up for Spectrami.